Gray wolf. This predator doesn't just hunt prey. It can reshape an entire ecosystem. The gray wolf is one of nature's most influential predators. Where wolves return, deer become more cautious, vegetation can recover, and even rivers can change as the landscape responds to the shifting behavior of prey. A single pack can control a territory covering hundreds of square miles. They're often described as being led by an alpha, but wolf packs are usually much closer to a family group, working together to survive. During a hunt, they communicate with subtle movements, looks, and growls before the chase begins. And once they run, escaping isn't easy. Gray wolves can reach speeds of around 60 km/h, while their real advantage is endurance. They can keep tracking prey for days. But humans nearly erased them. For centuries, wolves were trapped, poisoned, and hunted, largely because people feared them as rivals and threats. Yet they survived. From Yellowstone to the Carpathian Mountains, gray wolves have returned to places where they were once nearly gone. The wolf didn't disappear from the food chain. It simply waited for its place to be remembered. African wild dog. This predator doesn't need to be the strongest to be terrifying. The African wild dog moves through the African savanna like a living storm, with every animal carrying a completely different coat pattern, almost like a fingerprint. No two look exactly the same, but their real weapon isn't their appearance. It's teamwork. While lions depend heavily on raw power, African wild dogs rely on speed, timing, and coordination. The entire pack moves together, chasing prey for miles, cutting off escape routes, and constantly closing the distance. And the results are incredible. Their hunting success rate can exceed 80%, making them one of the most successful land predators on Earth. But there's another side to these fierce hunters. They care for injured pack members, make sure young animals are fed first, and even show behavior toward their dead. Every chase is brutal. Every movement is coordinated. Yet behind those teeth is a remarkably loyal social group. Beautiful, relentless, and fiercely connected. The African wild dog doesn't win by fighting alone. It wins because the entire pack moves as one. Coyote. This predator didn't disappear when humans took over the land. It moved into our neighborhood. The coyote once dominated open plains, but today it survives in deserts, suburbs, alleys, and even downtown streets. Humans built fences. The coyote found shortcuts. We built roads. It learned to avoid cars. We left trash outside. It learned how to open bins. And somehow it can still raise its pups while living beneath the glow of city lights. While many predators disappeared as humans spread across the continent, coyotes did something completely different. They adapted alongside us. They watched. They learned. They changed their behavior whenever we changed ours. That's why the old stories called the coyote a trickster, a creature clever enough to fool gods and steal fire. Turns out those legends weren't exaggerating. The coyote doesn't need untouched wilderness to survive. Give it a city, a highway, or a patch of desert, and somehow it finds a way through. Wherever humans go, the coyote learns how to follow. Golden Jackal. This predator doesn't need to be the strongest. It just needs to find the next meal. The golden jackal moves across the dry plains of Africa and Asia, built lean, clever, and constantly searching for an opportunity. It isn't the biggest predator. It isn't the fastest, but it doesn't need to be. Fruit, rodents, carrion, garbage. If there's food, the jackal knows how to use it. Unlike wolves, which often rely on large organized packs, golden jackals usually live in pairs or small family groups, working together without needing huge numbers. They're survivors built around flexibility, and humans aren't exactly a problem for them. Our leftovers simply become another food source. For centuries, ancient myths even portrayed jackals as guides between the world of the living and the dead. Today, their destination is much simpler, straight toward whatever food we've left behind. Quiet, patient, calculating. The golden jackal doesn't dominate the wild by force. It survives by making sure opportunity is never wasted. Dhole. This wild dog doesn't bark before a hunt. It whistles. The dhole lives deep in the jungles of India and Southeast Asia, where this small red predator moves through the forest in tightly coordinated groups. Its calls sound strangely gentle, more like birds chirping than wolves warning their prey. But that whistle means trouble. Dholes hunt as a team, moving in tight formations and working together with remarkable precision. They can bring down prey up to 10 times their own size using coordination instead of brute strength. Even tigers may avoid a moving pack of dholes, and their teamwork doesn't stop after the hunt. They share food, care for pups that aren't their own, and fiercely defend the entire family group. Small body, red coat, bird-like whistle. But behind that strange sound is one of the jungle's most coordinated predators. Many animals announce danger with a roar. The dhole does something far stranger. It whistles. And then the hunt begins. Maned wolf. This wolf looks like it was built on stilts. The maned wolf moves across the misty grasslands of South America on incredibly long legs, not mainly for speed but to lift its head above the tall grass and see what is around it. And despite the name, this isn't your typical meat-eating wolf. It hunts small animals, but it also eats plenty of fruit, especially a fruit known as the wolf apple. That unusual diet makes it one of the strangest members of the canine family. Then comes its voice. Instead of a normal wolf howl, the maned wolf produces a deep roar bark that can echo across the grasslands. It sounds less like a dog, and more like thunder coming from the mist. Because of its strange shape, quiet behavior, and solitary lifestyle, local people once viewed it as almost mythical. And honestly, it's easy to understand why. Long-legged, shy, mostly solitary, and unlike any other wolf you've seen. The maned wolf doesn't look like the king of the grasslands. It looks like the mysterious creature that quietly walks through them. Bush dog. This tiny Amazon predator is barely 30 centimeters tall, but it hunts like a whole squad. The bush dog is a short-legged, stocky hunter hidden deep in the Amazon rainforest, where its rusty-colored body can disappear into the thick undergrowth. Don't let its small size fool you. Bush dogs hunt in packs, using teamwork to overwhelm prey. And when the forest floods, they can even swim through flooded jungle like furry little torpedoes. They hunt fish, rodents, and even agoutis, with different members of the pack taking different roles. One distracts, one chases, another attacks, and suddenly the jungle goes quiet. Their legs may be short, but their stamina is brutal, allowing them to keep the pressure on until prey runs out of options. And their calls are just as strange. They don't bark like most dogs. They make high-pitched chirping sounds almost like angry otters. Small, relentless, and built around teamwork. The bush dog proves that in the rainforest, size doesn't matter when the whole pack hunts as one. Raccoon dog. This animal looks like a raccoon, but it's actually a wild canine. The raccoon dog lives in the snowy forests of East Asia, and its strange appearance makes it one of the most unusual members of the dog family. When danger appears, it has an incredible trick. Instead of running, it can freeze and play dead, sometimes so convincingly that even hunters can be fooled. But winter brings an even stranger behavior. Unlike most canines, the raccoon dog can hibernate, curling itself into a furry ball and waiting for the cold season to pass. And its reputation gets even stranger in Japanese folklore, where it became the famous tanuki, a mischievous shapeshifter known for tricking humans. It's not really a raccoon. It's not quite the dog people expect either. It freezes like a master actor, sleeps through winter, and appears in legends as a supernatural trickster. Wolves have strength. Coyotes have adaptability, but the raccoon dog has something completely different. The ability to be weird enough to survive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.